So basically, what I wanted to do is I wanted to talk about my recent purchase. I purchased Hulk number 2, and it's a really interesting story because I actually walked around in an antique mall, and I've been in that mall a few times in the past, not too often. And There's a guy in there that's pretty much a coin seller, uh, and but he has this little corner full of old comic books, and I've already thumbed through them, and they're basically nothing of value, nothing of interest, you know. But as I was looking through that that box of comics that he always has, I kind of glanced over it, and inside a glass, one of his glass cases, I saw this Incredible Hulk number 2. Now, I didn't know it was a number 2. I mean, I love Silver Age comics. I love them. But I also noticed that, the cover seemed very familiar. So I was like, whoa, hold on. And so I got closer to it, and I noticed that it was number 2. First thing I did was I went outside and took a breather, um, jumped on eBay just so I could have some negotiating power here to know, what can I offer the guy. Again, he didn't look like a comic book dealer. He probably did, as I'm talking to him, probably didn't even care about it. But at the same time, he's a businessman. He's not a fool, so he knows that a Hulk number 2 is worth something. So I came back. I said, "Hey, I want to see it." He took it out of the glass case and kind of showed it to me. And the first thing that I started pointing out was how badly this restoration was. I mean, look at the sides, look at the edges, Scotch tape, 6 staples. Now, granted, I'm looking at the cover; it's still like somewhat intact, but I mean, you could just see right around here how brittle it is, how it's falling apart. So I was kind of using that to my advantage to say, hey, look at this, look at that. This is a reader's copy. Look at all these staples here. This was a poorly done restoration job. I mean, if you even want to call it restoration. So I was kind of using that to my leverage to see if I could get a better deal, basically. And if I'm holding it right here in front of me, then the answer is, I did. And also, you could also notice that on the right side, they grabbed some sort of a razor or a knife, and they just cut along the edges to hide all that, to hide all the edges of it just kind of breaking apart. But nevertheless, I mean, even though after I talked it down, it made not make it sound good. I mean, it's a Hulk number 2. How often do you run across one of these, especially in a place that's not a comic book shop or on eBay, right? So looking into it, I noticed that it's like the the pages look clean. Here's a couple of little close-ups that I have. One of the things that I found very interesting, here's a little bit of a spoiler alert, not too bad, is that we've always known the Hulk as the person that he turns into the Hulk when when he gets angry. Well, in this issue here, it's a night and day thing. At night he turns into the Hulk, and in the day he turns into Bruce Banner. Very, very interesting. Very early. They probably even haven't had, or Marvel hasn't even had time to even really develop the character. So I'm sure, obviously changes happen later. As I turn this over, again, not that bad. Gosh, that spine kills me. They put Scotch tape to hold it all together, but you know, again, Hulk number 2. How often do you come across something like this, right? Um, and other than that, I mean, obviously I have it in front of me, and so I purchased it, and I'm very, very happy of my find and adding this to my collection. I took it to a local comic book shop. He looked at it, thought it was a great find, probably graded it in the area of a 1.0. That's great. I don't care. The inside looks great. The outside looks beat up. It is what it is, and I'm very, very happy of my find. So I just wanted to share that with you.